Welcome to my channel. My name's Alexis Bravo, and today we're going to be talking about how we are not alone in the universe. We're going to separate the discussion into three different parts. The first part is called the infinite, the second part is called the eternal, and the third part is called the absolute. So the first part, the infinite. The infinite relates to an inability to quantize information. Not in terms of capacity, but in terms of capacity. We don't actually have the capacity to understand the infinite, right? It's the idea that there's this number or this quantity that is so far beyond us that we can't possibly attain it. And yet we can somehow believe that it exists, right? So one of the things that is infinite in reality is life. It's a bold claim, I know, but here's a line of reasoning. It's interconnected, and it's constantly producing new configurations of reality with every respiration and reverberation, each representing the entirety of what has been, is, and will be. This is one of the nominal truths that Kant talks about, right? It's definitionally true. It's self-evident. New things are constantly being made, and even if they all died one day, it wouldn't take away the fact that it happened, or they happened. Nature tends towards ideal and perfect states where all things exist in perfect harmony and within their ideal. This means that if we fulfilled our potential, we would achieve the infinitude of our being connected to all beings past, present, and future at varying degrees of awareness depending on our focus. Just look within one person. There's a whole world of experience, each person a world of their own, and a universe for that matter. And I don't mean that metaphorically, I do mean that literally. We'll get into the mechanics in a later video, but the idea here is that there's countless worlds, countless universes out there, all full of beings that are alive and all connected to us in some shape, way, or form in the present moment. And that brings us to the second item here, which is the eternal, right? This moment, the general moment that we're all actually in is eternal. When I say eternity, I'm relating to the fact that there's no beginning or end, that whatever we're describing has always been, is, and will always be. Our soul is eternal. It is unborn. It's always been. We are in our soul, so we are in eternity. It is derived from an original supersoul. The soul is derived from an original supersoul at the center of all things. As we've mentioned, it's a fragment of an infinite number. There are countless others of us. They're all real. They're all true, all emanating for the sole reason for our existence, the same reason that we have. And that is a personality whose entire purpose is to be exactly what it's always been. The Godhead, right? Our presence and form is determined by all the worlds and universes that we've allowed to express themselves through us, how we've dealt with them, and to a larger extent, how we deal with them. So I'll say that again, our presence and our form, it's determined by how we deal with all of the worlds and all of the universes that are happening right now. If you look at one person or what's happening in one person, every event is coming to pass with every breath that you take. Most are entirely unperceivable, but all of them have been happening all along, and they'll continue to happen, like we've covered in other videos. So the third aspect here is the absolute. So just to recap here, there's a countless number of us in the universe, in the multiverse for that matter. We're all eternal, we're all always happening, we've always been connected, we're all happening now. And then in terms of the absolute, which relates to an objective structure of reality, which is metaphysical, transcendental in nature, it's perfect, or we're in a perfect relationship already. Our reality is absolute. We're usually just so out of tune with it that we perceive it as random or disordered. Everything belongs to a supreme order though, so things are actually happening along a very natural course of reasoning, or according to very specific principles that have always been there. Even the material reality we live in corresponds perfectly to the objective truth underlying every fragment. As above, so below, right? So within, so without, etc. We interpret the objective through our senses, but our senses can and will deceive us to maintain the supreme order. All our faculties are capable of perceiving the complete truth as it relates to us individually, But our faculties will never allow us to perceive the complete truth for all variables, fragments, or others, even one other. That's the exclusive role of the supersoul, which we can call God. It is why we will never see another for how they truly are, what they truly are, or, the essence of them. That will always be hidden from us. It's also why our life will continue to be a mystery for us in so many different ways. And through all of that adventure, we get to be a part of this cosmos that's infinite, eternal, and absolute, populated by countless other beings that are in contact and with us every step of the way, past, present, and future. So if you want to add anything to that discussion, please go ahead and write something down in the comments. If not, and you like the video, please go ahead and like, subscribe, share, whatever you want to do. Thanks for watching. Have a great one.